everyone. I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi.
And I'm Rich Nation, and this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of March 13th, 14th, and 15th.
On today's show, Shell Point nutritionist Linda Rakos will tell us how to live healthier by eating the rainbow.
But first, we have a few reminders for you for this weekend. Bright and early Saturday, the Walking Club will be going out to the Sanibel Lighthouse to make your choice of a 3 or 6 mile walk. Call Jim Plummer at Parkwood at 337-2721 or Charlie McDonald at Royal Bonnet at 939-0219 for more information. Come enjoy the beautiful sights while getting your exercise. The walkers leave from the administration circle at 8 a.m.
Also Saturday, the Resident Staff Tennis Challenge will take place at the Woodlands Tennis Courts. All are invited to help cheer on your fellow residents and Shell Point staff. Come out and enjoy some friendly competition and fun atmosphere. It all starts at 9 a.m.
If you'd like to sleep just a little later Saturday morning and have your fun indoors, you might enjoy the meeting of the Information Forum. Join Dr. Russ Cray of Oakmont for a presentation about Singapore, Bangkok, and Hong Kong. Dr. Cray will share his recent experiences and travels to the continent of Asia. Don't miss the chance to see these 3 major Asian cities through the eyes of a tourist. The Information Forum starts at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands.
And sometimes you just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy a movie with some friends. You have multiple opportunities to do so this weekend. There will be 2 showings of the Saturday DVD at the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands, first at 2 and again at 7 p.m. The movie is Mom's Night Out from 2014. It's a comedy about a group of ladies who leave their husbands home to watch the kids while they enjoy a night on the town. And what could possibly go wrong with that? Come on out to the movie and find out. I'm pretty sure those dads will have you laughing.
And there's more where that came from. On Sunday, it's the Sunday matinee showing at 2:30, also in the Grand Cypress Room. From 1995, it's Mr. Holland's Opus, starring Richard Dreyfuss as a struggling music teacher who dreams of composing an important and memorable piece of music. It's an inspiring and heartwarming tale. Again, that's 2:30 Sunday afternoon in the Grand Cypress Room.
Well, it's said that you are what you eat. Shell Point nutritionist Linda Rakos seems to want you to be bright and colorful and cheery because she recommends that you eat a rainbow. Well, not exactly a rainbow, but the rainbow. We'll let her explain.
Hi, I'm Heather Batty, Resort Services. Today I'm here with Linda Rakos and Brett Waite. Many of you probably don't know, but March is National Nutrition Month. So they have a wonderful program that they're going to present to you. It's called How to Eat a Rainbow. Linda, can you tell us about that?
Well, thank you, Heather. Yes, indeed. How to Eat a Rainbow is because we're talking about fresh produce. Last year we did a class on amazing grains, and so this year we thought we'd get into the produce part because we want everyone to know that we don't eat enough fresh fruits and vegetables in our diet. So we're going to be here to tell you about the healthy eating aspects of biting into a healthy lifestyle, and we're going to show them some various produce, which we have Chef Brett with us here, Brett Waite, and he's going to tell you about what we're going to have for you to see and taste and ask questions about.
So Brett, you're actually going to bring some fresh produce for everyone to taste?
We're actually having Fresh Point, who is our main vendor for produce, is going to bring in a big display. We'll go over some of the different varieties of vegetables and fruits that are definitely the healthier choices that we should probably be making as far as our diets go.
What do you think is one of the most healthy fruits or vegetables that people are not eating enough of?
Leafy greens are probably the hot trend right now. Kale is probably one of the big trends that most folks probably aren't excited about kale, but there are many ways that you can put it into recipes and make it pretty tasty.
Kale actually really isn't too bad. Does it taste a little bit like spinach?
A little bit like spinach. More like a green, like a collard green or a turnip green.
I think I like the spinach better. So if you guys are interested in learning about how to eat a rainbow, they're both going to be with us March 19th for this special event. Have a happy and healthy day.
Coming up, we're going to replay some of our best stories from this week on Shell Point Today. But before we do that, let's cover all of this weekend's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the weekend edition of Shell Point's Happenings segment. I'm Bev Chandley and this is Caitlin Van Scoy. We're going to tell you what's going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. We're going to start out at 8 o'clock with men's match play doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. The Stamp Ministry will be down in the Stamp Room in the Tunnel at 8:15. 8:30 to 11:30, the marketplace will be in Administration Courtyard, so head there to check it out. It's always fun. 9 o'clock, we have canasta and samba being played down at the Woodlands second floor common lobby. Our Suzy Q boat goes out at 9:30 to the Green Flash restaurant out on Captiva for lunch. You do need to sign up for those Suzy Q trips. At 10 o'clock, the men's match play doubles tennis will be at the Woodlands tennis courts. Our genealogy group will be in the Osprey Room at 10:15. Also at 10:15, we have Inquiring Minds in the Manatee Room. Our last 10:15 activity is the new Dog Club. They'll be meeting in the Social Center on the island. Here's Caitlin for the afternoon.
Thank you, Bev. We start out with Mixed Progressive Bridge at 12:30 in the Woodlands Game Room. At 1 o'clock, we have a Health Connections class, Laser-Assisted Cataract Surgery. That'll be in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands, and you do need to sign up for that. Advanced Table Tennis will be in the Tarpon Room at 1:15. The Quilters will be gathering in the Osprey Room at 1:15. From 1:30 to 3:30, the Model Train Room will be open for complimentary tours. At 1:30, we have a Vespers in the Community Room of the Arbor. 2 o'clock's the time for Bid Euchre. That'll be in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. Water volleyball will be played at 2:15 at the Life Quest Aquatic Center. And Latin Size will be in the Health Club at 2:30. We have another Vespers at 2:30 that'll be in the Community Room of King's Crown. And the Great Decisions will be meeting in the Manatee Room at 2:45. We have our third Vespers at 3:30 in the Springs. And 4 o'clock's the time for pickleball. That'll be at the pickleball courts. We have a dinner outing to Ariani's Italian Restaurant in Cape Coral at 4:30. The pickups will begin on the island at 4:40 Woodlands and 4:50 Eagles Preserve and Estuary, and you do need to sign up for that. The last Friday activity will be at 6:45. We have game night in the Resident Activity Center. And here's Bev for our Saturday activities.
Thank you, Caitlin. We're going to start Saturday off at 8 o'clock with pickleball at the pickleball courts. Also at 8 o'clock, we have the round robin tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. And our last 8 o'clock activity is the Shell Point Walking Club. They'll be heading to Sanibel Island Lighthouse. They gather at the Clock at the Administration Courtyard. Then at 9 o'clock, we have the Resident Staff Tennis Challenge at the Woodlands tennis courts. 9:45, we have the Duplicate Bridge game. That goes on in the Manatee Room on the island. At 10 o'clock, we have the Information Forum group in the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. And the Model Yacht Sailing group will be at the Garden Apartment Pond at 10:15. Now we're going to scoot into the afternoon. At 1 o'clock, we have chess. That'll be played in the Library Lounge at the Resident Activity Center. 1:15 is the time for Scrabble to be played in the Library Lounge. And we also have table tennis at 1:15 and for the rest of the weekend, unless it's posted otherwise. That's in the Tarpon Room down in the tunnel. Our Saturday DVD, Mom's Night Out, will be at 2 o'clock in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. And you'll find basic line dancing in the Health Club at 3:15. We're going to jump to 7 o'clock for the second showing of our Saturday DVD, Mom's Night Out. That will be in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. Now here's Caitlin to go over Sunday's activities.
Thank you, Bev. Our first Sunday activity will be at 9 o'clock, and that'll be Christian Life Studies. That'll be held in the Game Room of the Woodlands and also at the Village Church. 10:15, we have morning worship. That'll be at the Village Church, and it's also broadcasted live on Shell Point TV, Channel 13. We have our Sunday matinee. Mr. Holland's Opus will be shown at 2:30 in the Grand Cypress Room. And 3:30 is the time for the Sunday golf mixer. That'll be at the Shell Point Golf Club. 4:15, we have ballroom line dancing for beginners in the health club. And our last activity of the weekend will be at 6:15. We have an evening service at the Village Church. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this weekend edition. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for the weekend. On Friday at 10:15, the iPad or iPhone walk-in clinic will take place in the Technology Teaching Center on the island. At 1:15, making greeting cards and posters with print shop will take place in the Technology Teaching Center on the island, and sign up is required. I'd like to tell you about our new classes coming next week. On Monday, we have an AARP driver safety course taught by Ed Vanderhey of Coquina. On Tuesday, we're going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with Professor Adrian Kerr and a wee bit of music and something sweet. We'll have Apple device security with Bruce Findlay of Sundial. On Thursday, Computer College free online storage with OneDrive will be presented by Jim Plummer of Parkwood, and James R. Irwin of Turbin will teach blowing with the wind.
Menus for your weekend. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter on Friday is grilled tuna with bok choy and fried rice. The dinner special is the seafood buffet for $15.95, and the soup of the day is pasta fagioli. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Friday, the special is a tuna melt with slaw and chips for $7.25. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.25. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Friday are vegetable Wellington for $12.95 or shrimp scampi for $15.95. On Saturday, the Crystal Room is closed. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Saturday, the special is a chili cheeseburger with fries for $7.25. The dinner special is grilled pork gorgonzola with baked potato and mixed vegetables for $8.25. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Saturday are prime rib for $19.95. On Sunday, the Crystal Room features its Sunday brunch for $17.50. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Sunday, the special is a Philly cheesesteak with onion rings for $7.25. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.25. And the Palm Grill is closed on Sundays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey, and with me is Pastor Andy Hawkins. Andy, we're looking forward to Sunday. What's going to happen?
Okay, yeah. Well, Sunday is obviously the highlight of the week for us, and we are continuing to plan worship services for Sunday, and they're looking good. I think we're going to have an extraordinary opportunity. The choir will be singing as usual. We'll have some excellent worship opportunities. We're still in the book of Hebrews.
Really?
Amazingly, isn't it remarkable? There's such a richness to it, but we're actually entering this week into chapter 11, which is a sort of its own series. I mean, the whole book has been a series. We've been calling it the Superior Christ. Well, this is sort of the series within a series, because you know Hebrews 11 and how rich that whole chapter is.
The Hall of Faith, they call it?
They call it the Hall of Faith.
Which is kind of a play on the Hall of Fame or something.
That's exactly right. Yeah. It's obviously its theme is faith and what that looks like. It begins with an extraordinary definition of faith, which in my estimation isn't so much an operational definition as it is a functional one. In other words, this is what faith looks like. This is how it's supposed to function in the life of the church. And then, of course, the rest of the chapter then recounts example after example after example from the Old Testament saints who exhibited various kinds of faith and various kinds of circumstances. So
getting sawn in two?
Oh, even, yeah. Sawn asunder.
Sawn asunder.
Sawn asunder, as I think the King James has it. Yeah.
There's some remarkable people.
That's right. That's right. And faith isn't always easy. Faith has to be exhibited very often in the midst of very dire circumstances, and we find that in those Old Testament saints as well.
Yeah, well, we were looking at Daniel last week.
That's right.
You talk about faith.
Exactly. But these people in the Old Testament always looked forward to the celestial city, as we call it, the city whose builder and maker is God. And so they always have that to look forward to, and that's a part of that dimension about how faith operates. But this Sunday morning, we're going to be just looking at the first 2 verses, which is that definition of faith, how faith functions, and that's the essence of what we're doing in the morning.
Well, the rest of the chapter is material for another year.
Yeah, it depends on how deep you go into the Old Testament. It could be.
Oh, what about the evening?
Well, the evening we've been in a series entitled Who is God? The nature and character of God is something that we ought to teach more, I think, in the context of the Church of Jesus. So we've been focusing on the attributes of God. We've actually sort of set the stage and had a foundation for that, and looking at how the Bible speaks about God, how God wants to be referred to, those kinds of things we've already covered. And now we begin to work through some of the attributes of God. We've been calling these attributes that we're looking at natural attributes, because they're things that sort of differentiate God from us, we humans. And so they're the natural attributes. And this week we're going to be looking at the eternal nature of God. That's a mind-bending subject, isn't it?
Now, this isn't going to be a top-down sermon. You're going to circulate around the room and get people to read Scripture and
absolutely
interactive.
Yeah, we've enjoyed having the evening services as being more interactive teaching. And I love that kind of context, and I trust people are resonating with it. And so we'll look at the eternal nature of God, and that's such a bedrock foundation of our faith in Him. If He's not eternal, we really can't trust anything, can we?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that.
That's exactly right.
And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
And now it's time to look back at stories from this week on Shell Point Today. Dr. Trevor Elmquist has some information for us about laser cataract surgery.
I'm Mary Franklin, here today to talk to you about a Health Connection program that Dr. Elmquist is going to be leading. It is on cataracts, but more importantly, about a new opportunity he has to offer his patients with laser-assisted surgery. Thank you for coming back again.
Thanks, Mary. Glad to be back.
Residents enjoy coming to your presentations and love all of the information you give them, and also you always add some humor into there to make the conversation a little bit more fun. But you have such a great new opportunity available at your office. What's this laser-assisted surgery all about?
Well, laser-assisted surgery is exactly what it says. The laser is assisting the surgeon in making the incisions that we have to do in the eye to get in and get the cataract out. And before, the surgeon has always had to do these things by hand. It takes great skill, and you have to be very steady with your hands. But now the femtosecond laser actually makes every incision that we need, and there are multiple ones. There's incision in the cornea to get inside the eye, an incision in the top part of the lens to get the capsule off, and then actually incisions in the nucleus of the lens to soften it and allow us to get the cataract out. So, and finally, there are little incisions that can be made to reduce astigmatism, which will help sharpen your vision. And the laser does this all by itself. Once we line it up, we just let the laser go, and it makes those incisions very precisely.
Well, great. So you're there to line it all up, measure it. Now, before we came on to the segment, you were giving some fun facts. And you mentioned a femtosecond? What is that? Femtosecond.
Yes, F-E-M-T-O, femtosecond. So a femtosecond laser is one that creates a very short pulse in time, and a very accurate small amount of energy that's called a plasma. It's like a small lightning bolt, very accurately focused and very short pulsed. And we can line up tens of thousands of these little tiny pulses into a line and make an incision with them, a very accurate and, as I said, precise incision. So it's so much fun. It's hard to get your mind wrapped around how quick a femtosecond is.
You have to fill me in, because I've never even heard that.
Well, you've heard of a nanosecond.
Yes.
That's, how fast we do things. I'm going to do that in a nanosecond if I have to. And that's like a billionth of a second. and then even shorter is a picosecond, a trillionth of a second, and then a femtosecond is a quadrillionth of a second. So I don't even know how fast that is. It's an amazing machine that can do it that quickly, yeah.
Can you believe how far technology has come?
I can't believe it. In my 25 years in ophthalmology, we were doing large incisions with stitches in the eye to get the cataract out. Then we went to no stitch, but we still had to make that small incision.
Right.
And now the machine does it for us.
Is the recovery time quicker?
I'm finding it now. I've been doing this for about 2 months. I've got quite a few cases under my belt, and I'm liking it. And we're going to do it in the right person at the right time. It's not for everybody.
Okay.
But it is for many of our premium cataract packages where we're trying to reduce your dependency on glasses after surgery.
Okay. Well, and you're going to touch base on all the options at this speech, but really that's the new exciting thing that we want everybody to know about.
Right. I'll bring some pictures about the femtosecond and show you a little bit more about it at the talk.
You can sign up at either service desk and come and hear what Dr. Almquist has to say. I'm Mary Franklin for Resort Services. Make it a happy and healthy day.
The Shell Point Singers is a great outlet for residents who enjoy singing together. Every year they put on wonderful concerts that are fun and entertaining for the singers and their audiences. Director Randy Woods came by with some friends to talk about it.
Hi, I'm Randy Woods, and here it is March and it's springtime, and we're ready for another huge concert coming up with the Shell Point Singers and the Bay Singers of Bonita Bay. And as we have done this since working together with David McJoint, our resident here at Shell Point, David's been part of the Bay Singers, and you actually started the choir. Is that correct?
That's right, Randy. In 1998.
Okay.
I moved into Bonita Bay, and I was looking for a place to sing, and they said, well, why don't you start a choir? So that's how it started. I had the original idea for the choir then, and we had a beginning of about 12 to 15 people showed up. My thinking was that there's a lot of people here that are retired that have sung in choirs and throughout their life would like to sing again. And that certainly is what happened because we did good that year. But, you know, after that we said, you know, we're pretty good here. Why don't we kind of organize this thing and put it together a little bit, get a little budget together and hire a director and accompanist. And that worked out well. And here it is, 16 years later, and we've only had 3 directors. And our last one, Bruce Galbraith here, has brought us to a point where we're really good. So,
I would agree. So tell us a little bit about Bruce. We've had a joy working together at our previous concert, but you're the one who hired him and has worked with him closely with the Bay Singers. Tell us a little bit about Bruce and his leadership.
Well, I don't have enough time, Randy.
That's true. I understand. Yeah.
Bruce is on a I call him an infield utility guy because he does everything. He's in the instruments a lot, which we've never had before, which really perks up the whole business, and he's had a tremendous background in teaching with choirs. He's toured choirs all over Europe. And in Interlochen, which was music camp in Michigan, was a favorite of his, and we've had a lot of people talk a lot about his experience at Interlochen. Bruce, you might tell us a little bit more about your background. Those are just a highlight.
Interlochen was a great time, Dave, and it's very special young people. It was a vision that a man had that kids could have a wonderful training and include lots of music with their academics, and it works.
Sure does.
In recent years, Jewel and Josh Groban have come from there, and they're kind of well-known names.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you work with a lot of young people, but I find that in our community that our young people here still have a great desire to learn, a zest for singing, a joy in life, and what a great opportunity it is for us to put our resources together. With your choir, we have approximately 70, 75 singers from the Bay Singers, and here the Shell Point Singers, another 75. We're going to fill the stage with over 150 singers in this combined concert on Tuesday night, March 24th. And Bruce and I had the privilege of working together. Bruce is has great knowledge of the choral repertoire, a variety of styles. And it was fun when we got together at your home and we're picking out music selections for us.
We think it's going to be a good show, and it's magic in a way. 150 people, they're going to sing a concert, and they only will have had one rehearsal together.
Yep.
But because you and I are so in tune that you're rehearsing them the way we have agreed, and I'm doing the same with my gang.
Right.
And so that's really magic, like I said, when you put those two groups together.
Well, it was way back in the fall when we started this, getting our music, getting everything selected, making the notes for breaths and all those kinds of things. But now, as we put it together, we have a little theme that you've helped to develop.
Well, we always have a theme. It's really,
Getting
you're right.
away from it all.
Well, it's called Let's Get Away From It All, and it's about how you travel the Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe, or travel down Route 66, or in current years, how about Fly Me to the Moon, or the other places that we love to go on our vacation, such as Shenandoah or New York, New York. And then it ends up with a wonderfully lovely song about being where you are is where you love, and that's special to all of us. So I think people will recognize at least 7 or 8 of the tunes.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They're favorites, and our singers love singing these tunes. The Shell Point Singers, and they're doing so well. I have to admit that some of them are new to me. I guess I was born late.
Atchison, Topeka, and the Santa Fe, that might have been the one.
Yeah, but those railroad songs.
Dave's, you're in both groups, of course.
Yes, I was going to tell you that, you're absolutely right. These two have written the songs and put all the markings in there, and I rehearse at both places. I rehearse here with Randy on Monday, and then I'm with Bruce again on Thursday, and it really doesn't make any difference. It comes out the same every time because they're following the markings in the music, and I think it's going to come together really well, really quick too, because both sound good. Both sound good.
I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate the opportunity, and it's a great privilege for us as a choir, the Shell Point Singers, to combine our resources, our energy, our voices with the bass singers. And I appreciate you men, just your leadership and generosity of time and talent to make this happen. It's going to be a great celebration for us in the community here. So it's Tuesday night, March 22nd. The concert's at 7:30. It's free. I'm sorry, the concert is at 7:15. And the concert is free. So come out and be a part of this great celebration of spring. And what a chance for us to get away from it all.
That's exactly
and yet
what it's all
still
about.
Staying right here, but it's another world once that music starts.
We love singing here. Thanks, Randy.
Oh, it's our privilege. Thank you. Well, Bruce and Dave, thank you for joining me today, and we look forward to seeing you with the Shell Point Singers and the Bass Singers as we celebrate and get away from it all with our little adventure of travel and our concert coming up on Tuesday night, March 24th, and that will be at 7:15 p.m. here at the Village Church. Have a great day.
Tax season is upon us, and Julie Boyd came by from the Legacy Foundation with a tax tip for you.
Hi, I'm Julie Boyd with the Legacy Foundation, and tax season is here. April 15th is quickly approaching, and that means it's time to file your federal income tax return. Collecting documents and filling out forms can be very stressful, so here are a few steps that you can take before filing your taxes that will help make the process easier. First, designate a specific folder to put all of your W-2 and 1099 forms. As documents arrive in the mail, you can just put them in your folder. Second, think about any changes that may have happened in your filing status this past year. Did you get married or lose a spouse? Both of those things will affect your taxes. Third, figure out how you are going to prepare your taxes. Are you going to use a do-it-yourself software program like TurboTax, or are you going to use a CPA? To assist you in selecting an appropriate accountant or CPA, the IRS offers several guidelines to help you in the process. Most accountants will offer a flat or an hourly fee. If they use a fee that is a percentage of the refund that you are receiving, they're more likely to use aggressive or improper tax strategies. Accountants who file more than 10 returns are required to file them electronically. This is actually the safest and the most accurate filing method. Be sure to provide all of your records for your income, medical deductions, and tax credits for your CPA. They should not claim deductions or tax credits without appropriate records from you. Also, make sure you have looked at your return and have signed it on the appropriate line, and never sign a blank tax form for your accountant. Your CPA must sign and include their personal tax identification number on the return, and they must give you a copy of it. If you have any complaints or concerns about your accountant, the IRS does have a form that you can fill out online at irs.gov. Lastly, be ready to file for an extension if necessary. Sometimes taxes are way more complex than expected. If you do file for an extension, then your taxes are not due until October 15th. Well, I hope that you have found these tax tips helpful, and if you need assistance in finding a qualified CPA, contact the Legacy Foundation at 466-8484.
The Library Fund Drive is coming up. Melody Desolé and the ladies in charge told us all about it.
Hi, Shell Point. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We have a very special announcement, and it takes place from March 11th through the 25th. It's our annual Library Fund Drive. I'm joined today by Fran Ippenson, Chairman of the Library from Royal Bonnet, and also Marilyn Hooper, Head Librarian from Lucina. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, absolutely. So, Fran, let's talk about the fund drive. I said the dates. How do our residents know about this?
They will be receiving in the mail an announcement about the fund drive, and you notice that it's yellow. It will also include an envelope that they can return their generous donation to the library for the fund drive. I think it's important for our residents to know that this fund drive is what allows us to operate the library. And this is the one time that they have the opportunity to contribute to the running of the library. It should also be noted that we have 60 plus volunteers that participate in running the library. And also, the library is not funded at all by Shell Point. The annual fund drive is what funds our operation of the library. Marilyn, would you like to show them the number of items we have?
As an example of what we use that money for, this is last month's new acquisitions, and we purchased this many books, DVDs, CDs. You get this in your weekly reminder every month. And so we buy somewhere around 60 to 70 items every single month. Every bit of the money that comes from the fund drive goes to the purchase of these items. We have no other expenses except for library supplies and office supplies. Everyone, as Fran said, is a volunteer, so there are no salaries involved. It all goes for the items for the library.
Now, Fran, I saw a pretty impressive number, and it did have an 8 in it. Would you explain to our viewers what that number is and what it means?
Okay, the library has over 8,000 print and non-print items available for residents.
Wow, Fran, that 8,000 number is so impressive, which leads me into Marilyn. I think this private library's reputation precedes it. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, very interesting, Melody. We recently got a call from a continuing care community in Naples who had heard of our library and wanted to come up and talk to us about how you computerize a library, how we purchase things, and I have to tell you, they were most envious of what we have here.
Well, Shell Point, here is your opportunity to contribute to this private library that you can call your own. And not many people can do that. So it's up to you to take this upon yourself and be generous with what you fund for the fund drive. Now, Fran, would you tell us a little bit more? You had said they'll receive an envelope in the mail. How can they contribute their money? And who do they make a check out to?
Well, the checks should be made out to Shell Point Library, and they can bring them to either service desk, or they can mail them by internal mail to the library. And this is a very important fund drive for us because we do not receive any support from Shell Point. All the monies that are donated through this fund drive go to operation and acquisition of books and various other media for the Shell Point Library and for the residents.
Okay, well, you heard all about it. Please be generous with your donations from March 11th through the 25th. Now, there's 3 ways to contribute. As Fran had said, you can send your check through internal mail, you can drop it off at the library, or at either service desk, the Woodlands or the Island. And also, please consider, if you haven't already, joining up with this library and taking a look at what we have to offer, because it is very impressive. Thank you for your donations for this fund drive and your support throughout the year. Thank you so much.
The annual Shell Point Art Show is coming up. Melody Desolé brought us all the information about this beautiful and fun exposition of creativity.
Hi Shell Point residents, my name is Melody Desolé and I'm here today to invite you to a very exciting upcoming art show in Sale. It will take place on Friday, March 20th and Saturday, March 21st in the Woodlands Commons. Now it will take place on both floors of the Commons, so you want to make sure to check out the lobby, the Oak Room, the Grand Cypress Room, and more. The mediums you'll see at this year's show and sale are paintings, note cards, pottery, sculpture, stained glass, photography, woodworking, lapidary, scrapbooking, collage, and other mediums. And new this year, artists will be present to discuss with you the passion behind their pieces. Now, artists only take cash or checks, so you want to be prepared when you find a piece that you're going to cherish. Also, we will have raffle drawings where you could win an original piece of art or win a lucky buck. Now, what those lucky bucks are is just money that is intended to purchase artwork at that show and sale. So you want to be present for that as well. This is an invitation to everyone out there, including the public. So if you have friends, family, neighbors that you'd like to invite in Shell Point, the dates again are Friday, March 20th through Saturday, March 21st from 10 until 3. We hope to see you out there supporting your fellow resident artists. Thank you so much.
Driving is a skill that requires special attention as we age, and things like eyesight and reflexes begin to change over time. The AARP Smart Driver course is a good way to take stock and do the appropriate diligence with regard to serious responsibilities in operating an automobile. And it can save you some insurance costs while you're at it. Here is a preview about this upcoming class offered in the Academy.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath, and I'm here today with Ed Vanderhey of Coquina. He is an instructor for us for the AARP Smart Driver course. Thank you for joining me.
My pleasure.
Now, the Smart Driver course has been a great upgrade to the previous AARP class we had.
Well, you have to take these courses every 3 years because everything changes. We change, our abilities change, roads change, cars change, and laws change too. So this is continual revision. You notice on the book, this is an entirely new course. Anybody who's taken this course before won't recognize it at all. Everything has been changed in this, and it's a great course. I just love to teach it.
I bet you do. Now, I think we kind of get set in our ways and say, I've been driving for 50 years. You know, what do I have to learn? What do we have to learn in our older years?
Well, you got to learn all the things that's changing. You got to learn what's changing in your own life. Do you know that the highest rate of fatalities in driving are not teenagers? They're people 75 and older. We got to realize that we're not, the old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. and cars change. Just imagine the car you drove when you took your driver's test. The makers of autos say if you don't get a new car every 7 years, you're way behind the times because of all the new safety equipment that's provided.
And distractions too, Ed. There's so many distractions we never had. Cell phones and, you know, people who are distracted driving by us and next to us. It's almost like an obstacle course sometimes.
That's, distractions and speed. Those are the things that cause accidents. And you know that drowsy drivers are more dangerous than drunk drivers?
Really?
A higher rate of fatality.
My goodness. What can somebody anticipate if they come into your class?
Well, first of all, they're going to have a good time. You don't just listen to me talk. It's very interactive. There are many videos, and they're all brand new with all the latest research. You'll meet some new friends, but you'll make the world a safer place if you go to this class.
Fabulous. And then I hear there's a financial incentive.
Wow, yeah, what you get out of this class, the biggest thing you're going to get out of, you're going to be a safer driver. But you also get one of these certificates when you go through it. That's pretty valuable. This is a course you not only pay to take, but we pay you when you take it because you're going to get a discount on your auto insurance. It's by state law, and generally it's about 10% on your insurance, depending if you had any accidents or anything, but you're guaranteed that.
What an incentive, because insurance does continue to go up in price. Why do you teach this class?
Because I took it some years ago because I wanted to get a discount on my insurance. And I found out that it was so valuable. I said, this is really important for people to save a person's life.
Well, thank you so much. We're delighted to have you with us.
Right. Thank you.
And you all have an opportunity to still sign up. There's a little bit of room left right now for the class in the Grand Cypress Room with Pastor Ed Vanderhey, your neighbor and an AARP instructor.
Speaking of driving, Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott had a few things to say about the subject of staying safe on the road.
Hi, I'm Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott, and one thing that we need to talk about from time to time is just a simple reminder and a friendly reminder, frankly, about traffic safety. Driving on the roadways is a wonderful privilege and a wonderful convenience. However, it also remains a point of peril. Intersections. When the light turns green, it's a good idea to check and double check before proceeding. Unfortunately, people still tend to run red lights, and so you want to keep yourself safe at those intersections. Of course, we've heard it many times, but buckling up. The seatbelt really does save lives. In my career, I've worked so many crashes and seen unnecessary death and injury simply because the person didn't buckle up. We have to watch for distractions. The car is already a busy place, but with today's distractions with cell phones and all the fancy stereo systems, believe it or not, pets in the vehicle, we've seen that to be the case where the family pet is riding along and loose in the front seat with the driver can be a distraction. Food and drink. Every checkout line at every fast food place all day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, people are waiting to get their food, and in most cases, they're going to eat that on the road, and so they're juggling French fries or coffee or a bagel or what have you. The point here is to just be extra, extra careful. We want to keep you safe, to enjoy a well-deserved retirement and a great life, but unfortunately that can stop very quickly on the roadways. And so traffic safety is a big thing with us at the Sheriff's Office. We also encourage you to report erratic driving. If you're on the roads and you can have a passenger jot down the tag of a vehicle or description, we take that very seriously as well. So again, watching for those distractions, making sure you're buckled up, making sure you're comfortable in your car, and remember that even though you're in control, others on the roadway may not be. All the more important for you to keep your eyes and ears wide open and stay safe on the roadways. I'm Lee County Sheriff Mike Scott. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you here at Shell Point and on Shell Point Television. Be safe.
One of the requirements for staying safe on the road is to have a car that works properly, and that requires maintenance and the occasional repair. That's where the Shell Point Garage comes in. After several decades, some changes are taking place as Scotty's Automotive is about to take over operations and make Shell Point a satellite of its main garage on McGregor Boulevard. We took a ride out there to find out what plans they have for the garage here. Well, if you've been down behind the parking garage on the island lately, you've probably noticed a lot of activity going on with the Shell Point Garage. And that's because we're getting ready for a new vendor to come in. And if you've ever been, and I'm sure you have, out here on McGregor, and you've come by this iconic symbol of a mechanic's wrench, it's Scotty's Garage. And Scotty is expanding his facilities right into Shell Point, and Scotty himself is going to be hanging out at the garage to meet everyone and to make sure your car or golf cart gets his full attention. Let's go meet Scotty right now. Scotty,
hey.
Can I call you Scotty?
Yes.
You have a really impressive place here, right here in McGregor, and we're excited to have you aboard at Shell Point, and we'd like for you to just talk about what's going on here and what's going to be new when you guys move in, which is coming real soon. I hear there's a lot of work and hustle and bustle going on with getting the place remodeled and fixed up for you guys to move in. And when I say move in, that's you.
Yes.
Scotty himself. Yes. You're going to come over to Shell Point.
Yes, I'm going to be running.
Now, why would you want to leave this state-of-the-art facility with all the tools and all the manpower and come over to Shell Point?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to come over there. I've got to meet some of the residents already who already do come here. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to get over there and work on some golf carts and cars, and hopefully we're going to do some detailing too. So we have all the state-of-the-art stuff here. If we get a little busy over there, because it's only a 2-bay shop, we're able to bring cars up here, get them fixed, and bring them back there in a timely manner too. So.
Okay, so hold on a minute. What you're telling me is there's more to it than meets the eye. In other words, it's not just the garage there at Shell Point,
yes.
but residents have your entire facility available to them right here on McGregor.
Yes, we have 4 master ASC certified mechanics here. We can work on anything. The BMWs, Mercedes, we have a full staff here of.
Now, when you say master mechanics, what does that mean? That means you're ASC certified, right?
ASC certified, they have passed all the tests. Yep.
So you know the vehicles in and out,
inside
just certain
and out.
makes or?
No,
or
all makes and models.
All makes and models.
Yep, we do it all.
I had a little discussion with Scotty before we got on camera, and I can tell you this guy knows his stuff. This guy has been doing this a very long time, and he's got some of the best mechanics he could find in the area to come work with him. And what's going to be available to the Shell Point residents is a real convenience, because even though you have your facility here, they can bring their cars to the garage. And how does that work when I say they would have the whole full facilities available to them? That means what?
Well, if we get too busy over there, we personally will bring the cars up here and get them done. I have an alignment machine here, which you're not going to be able to put in a little 2-bay shop. So I have a lot of tools and extra stuff here to where we can do anything and everything.
So we're not just talking oil changes and tire rotations.
No, we can do it all.
When you say service the car, whatever they need.
Whatever.
Well, that's exciting. Well, Scotty, why don't you just lead the way and I'll follow and we'll see what's going on. Now you have more bays than I can count right now, but I'm going to guess.
This is a 10-bay shop, 9,000 square feet.
Wow.
And yeah, we can do anything in here.
Now you've been in business for about?
Since 2003.
Since 2003.
Yeah.
Okay.
I built this place in 2010.
Awesome.
Yep.
So if there's a part that somebody needs or something, you know the area well. If it can be found,
we can do it.
You can do it.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, take us through and show us
sure.
kind of some of the things you guys are able to do.
That's actually my 10th bay.
This is your 10th bay?
Yeah, 10th bay. We have 9 garage doors, but this bay is double deep with 2 lifts. We have a state-of-the-art tire machine. I can do up to 30-inch rims. I also have state-of-the-art balance machine. This is a road force balance machine. That's top of the line of what they got out right now. It actually puts enough force on the tire as if the car was driving down the road. The best way to balance a tire.
So if a resident's having a problem with their car, it seems like it's riding a little rough, maybe they're getting a little vibration in their front end, the first thing to do would be to come see you and see it. Maybe it's something as simple as getting their tires rebalanced.
Sure.
And if it's something more serious, like some front end repair, maybe they hit a pothole and now there's something going on with the tie rods or something, you can do all that too. You could rebuild their entire front end if you needed to.
There is nothing that we can't do.
Now talk to us a little bit about the golf carts, because I understand it. that this isn't a golf repair shop.
No.
But it's soon to be over at the Shell Point Garage.
Yes, I went out and did a lot of research, and I had found the top master golf cart mechanic in this area, and I hired him. So he's coming aboard. His name is Paul.
Wow.
And he is certified in everything from segways to golf carts, so you name it. He has all certifications.
Well, we definitely got some of those.
Oh, he's top notch.
Well, that's awesome.
So I'm excited to bring him aboard.
And we're excited to have that. That is a much needed.
There's one thing we try to do is hire the best. I won't hire your normal average guy. They have to be certified by ESC, and they have to be the best to my standards.
Okay, so a resident brings their vehicle or their golf cart over to you, and they look up and they see, okay, Scotty's just so busy. He's got a car in every bay, and he's got one out here they're working on. I'm just going to have to come back later. Is that right?
No.
So what's going to happen if you're too busy at the Shell Point Garage to fix their car?
I'm going to bring the cars up here and get them done, and then bring them back for the residents.
So you're telling me no is not an option?
No is not an option. Absolutely not.
That's,
you know, that's only a two-bay shop there, so obviously there's only so much I can produce out of a two-bay shop. But if we get busy, we got guys who will be able to shuffle cars back and forth to this shop, get them done, bring them back for the residents.
Sounds like with all the master mechanics and all the tools you have here, sounds like you could be going non-stop 7 days a week. Is that what Scotty's Garage does?
We could. Here we're only open 6 days a week. Sunday we're shut down. A lot of guys here, including myself, go to church on Sunday. So Sunday's a day for rest.
Good for you. Good for you. If Shell Point has said come aboard, then you know obviously they've gone through the right channels and they've checked into this company and they've checked into your qualifications.
Oh, yes, they did.
As well as your integrity, and I have no doubts that the people at Shell Point are going to love your business. They're going to love you. They're going to love the relationship that is being built here already with Shell Point. And I'm excited to have you aboard.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
The short time I've been talking to you, it sounds like you're going to really be able to improve upon the service that we already have there.
Because we'll be able to do everything. All makes, models, I don't care what it is.
So Scotty, if that tire rotation or that tire balance still didn't fix their problem and their car is pulling or it's just not wearing the tires evenly, another option is to have a realignment.
Absolutely. This is the best state-of-the-art alignment machine made by Hunter. These little pieces here are cameras, digital cameras that actually mount on the tires. This is a special rack designed for alignments. It's so big you can actually fit a limousine on it. So, you know, some of them are short and you only can align some cars, but here we can align any car that's made. And we also have a lift here for even bigger vehicles, some heavier duty or buses. It's a big drive-on rack. But we have torches and welders and we can do it all. So.
And it's really important that people keep their cars maintained, because a small problem can turn into a bigger problem. It's just like going to the doctor.
Absolutely.
You got to go for that checkup once in a while to keep your body going. It's the same thing with
you should have your alignment at least checked once a year just to make sure. Protect your investment of you know, putting new tires on the car.
Well, Scotty, I know you guys have been very busy getting moved into the Shell Point Garage, and there's still quite a bit of work to do.
There is. We're going to try to finish it up this week and be opened on the 16th.
Open on the 16th.
Open on the 16th.
That's just a few days away, Scotty.
Just a few days away. I got a lot of work to do.
You got a lot of work to do.
Yes, I do.
We're glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
We're looking forward to seeing some good things out of you guys. And,
once again, I'm excited to get in there. So.
For more information, don't forget to call the Shell Point Garage and find out more about getting your car ready to come to Scotty. And you know what? If he needs to, he will come to you.
Absolutely.
Well, that wraps up another week on Shell Point Today. We're glad you joined us for our show. Tune in again next week for more news and stories from around your community. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of March 13th, 14th, and 15th. I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi.
And I'm Rich Nation. For all of us at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you again back here on Monday.